Podcast. What's going on? We're back after a week off. I'm kind of liking these bi-weekly episodes. I think it works well. Matt was the one who originally suggested it way back in the day. Well, not way back, just 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. That's when I first moved out to Kansas City. Dang, crazy. 2 years ago. But I'm no longer in Kansas City, by the way. Anyways, the bi-weekly episodes are kind of working for me. Because it's just a lot. I mean, who would have known? Who would have known that podcasting would be such a struggle? But it is not easy to release a weekly podcast. It takes a lot of work, especially when you already have, a 9 to 5. Takes a lot. So we're back. We are in we just wrapped up week 5, so everyone's got 5 games under their belt. It's a lot. I don't know, more exciting or maybe more revealing. I feel like it's not even that revealing, though. I feel like we have so much left, and yet at the same time, the playoff picture really is starting to take shape. Like, you can't start dropping easy games now. You if you want to make the playoffs, you have to start winning now, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks left before playoffs start. So, I mean, we're not halfway done with the season, but like I said, if you want to make the playoffs, you got to start winning now, because it's going to be real tough to win out. A winning 8 in a row doesn't happen a lot, and there are not a lot of teams in this league right now that I'm looking at saying, "Oh yeah, they can win out." There's really no one's been that dominant yet. I would say the closest that we have is Aiden, and we can get more into that, but yeah, I guess let's start with maybe a little recap and go from there. All right, I didn't mean to say recap, by the way. I meant to say update. So if we just take a look at the standings real quick, and this will be pretty exciting. We can go. Yeah, we'll I don't know how I want to do this, but we'll start at 10. 10. Alex is sitting at 10 right now. He's 1-4, and he's pretty much a 1-4 team. Like, auto draft, and he got his first win actually over the team that I just said was maybe going to be the most dominant, which is Aiden. So maybe I'm going crazy there, but he finally got his first win. Scored 110 points, so that always helps. But yeah, after 4 straight losses, so I guess maybe I was speaking pretty closely to Alex when I was saying if you want to make the playoffs, you got to start winning now, and he's at least back on that. But man, 1-4, it's a long road back, and the playoff percentages reflect that. They're giving him a 6% chance to make the playoffs. So Alex would really have to step up. I mean, I agree. I think he would need to win. I mean, he's got to win 7 of the last 8 games. So he's got to be basically flawless to make the playoffs, because the playoff making teams last year were both 8 wins or 7 or 8 wins. They were both 7 or 8 win teams. So it's not easy. It's not easy making the playoffs, especially when it's very cutthroat like it is this year. And I still do have the room. I've left myself the opportunity to change that league setting, which might be controversial. But I guess the reason I'm thinking I might want to change it is because of the cutthroatedness of the 5-man playoff. Like it does kind of somewhat kill the vibe a little bit once it starts shaping out. But I thought the playoff race was pretty interesting last year. I mean, there were kind of a lot of teams gone by, or like not gone, but kind of down and out by week. What would that have been? 12. And so week 13, there was a couple teams fighting for the life in week 13, but you're gonna get that anyways with 6 men or not. So 6 or 5 men. Anyways, I totally got off track. But Alex's team, if we can just walk through it real quick, I'm sure everyone knows, but just he finally started playing Tua. He had Joe Burrow as like a auto pick for the longest time. He's got, oh my God. I just looked at his bench. It's rough. He's got Tua. He's got Breece Hall. He's got Jerome Ford as his RB2. He's got Amon-Ra St. Brown in our wide receiver 1, which isn't bad, but wait for the bench. Marquise Brown at wide receiver 2. Darren Waller at his tight end. DK Metcalf and flex. So it's a motley crew. It's a rough looking crew. I think Alex might be the sun might have set on Alex's 2023 season. He's got, Zach, Aaron, Luke, Tristan coming up next for his next 4 games. So it's potential he could maybe go. He could beat Zach. He could maybe beat Aaron. But I think the Luke is always a tough win, and the way that Tristan's team's kind of clawing its way back, by week 9, Tristan might have a solid team. So if you go, if he goes 2-2 in that stretch, that's just not going to be enough. It's not. So, and then on his bench, he's got Justin Jefferson, who just went on IR, Joe Burrow, who's been stinking this year, Miles Sanders, who's a nobody, Christian Kirk, not bad. I mean, or maybe no, I was thinking of the other dude. Actually, Christian Kirk isn't that bad. 10, 11, 8, 4, 8, 4. 8, 4 is not too bad. But what was I thinking? What's his name? Who's the other Jacksonville wide receiver? I can't think of it. Doesn't matter. And then he's got, of course, Devon A-Chain again on the IR. So 2 of his most explosive players, his 2 top-rated players, position rank 4 for Justin Jefferson, position rank 2 for Devon A-Chain. It's tough. It's tough. So Alex is bringing up the rear in 10. We've got Tristan in 9, who's had a rough start to the season, very rough start to the season. But the last 2 weeks, he's been much better. I don't know why it wasn't letting me click. He's scored, patience, 94 and then 101. So he look, never apologize for winning in fantasy. And you need those week 1 wins. This just goes to show how important that week 1 win is, because if he didn't get that, he'd also be in the same boat as Alex. So he won against Aiden in week 1, and so now he's sitting 2-3, and his playoff percentage is not great, but it's a lot better than Alex. I mean, I would say he has to win 5 out of the remaining 8 games, which is easier, but still, it's a demanding record to go 5-3. It's not easy, especially after struggling for the first half of the season. But there is a little something to be said about sitting kind of back on the waivers, or sitting back in the standings in the early season, is you get some good waiver looks. You get some good looks at the waivers, and I think that's helped Tristan a little bit. I don't think I'm gonna know off the top of my head if any of his guys are waiver guys. Dubes is a waiver guy. But no, I mean, he just drafted the rest of these guys: Fields, Henry, Etienne, Waddle, and Graham Pierce. I think Myers was the other crazy thing about Tristan's team is he's got 4 quarterbacks. I mean, what the heck is that? I'm actually thinking of changing the league rules to not allow you to have freaking 4 quarterbacks. That's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I might shrink it down to 3. And it's not like because I think Tristan's hoarding like great quarterbacks. Like, I'm not dying to have Russell Wilson, CJ Stroud, or Kyler Murray on my team, but it's just so extra, and who needs that? I don't know. I guess I just feel like Tristan maybe gave up a little early, and he's on his way back, and I'd like to see him, fight his way back. Oh, this is so funky. My toe bled a little bit. Okay. I kicked a guy in soccer, and my toe's been hurting ever since. So maybe I should stop kicking dudes in soccer. Anyways, Tristan's sitting at number 9. League standings. Let's get back to standings. Who do we have at number 8? I think it's Connor. I've been kind of bashing Connor in the power rankings because I'm really not, like I said, I'm not convinced by his team. Obviously, he just beat me. But he's just got such a hot, cold team right now. It's all over the place. But I think it's going to settle in a little bit here. Yeah, he's got names. He's got a lot of great names that I like. I mean, he's got Josh Allen, Raheem Mostert, Devontae Adams, Alvin Kamara, T. Higgins, Jameson Williams. And he's got some potential in there, too, like DJ Shark, Kareem Hunt. I mean, obviously, Kareem Hunt's not much to glare at, but potential. So, yeah, Connor, I think, same boat as Tristan. And I mean, I guess he's on the up and up. He just beat me, and he scored a pretty good score, 108. But he's also put up score lines 58, 79. I mean, he booms. When he booms, he booms. But when he busts, it's, sub 80, which is just not what you want. He's got Tristan coming up, and then Aiden, Matt, Zach, Tristan again. Then Alex, Aiden, and Matt. So he's got some wins coming down the road for him. Especially if Aiden doesn't pay attention to his team, he's got some wins down the road. So Tristan's... Excuse me. No, this is Connor. Connor's kind of got a good look the rest of the season. Connor has a good look the rest of the season. So actually, looking at his schedule, he might not be in trouble. So look out for Connor. Connor might be a sneaky playoff run guy. All right, next up we got Zach. I'm not sure. Again, Zach is very similar to Connor's team for me. Like, it's very boom bust. But again, so many great names on this team. Patrick Mahomes, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Devonta Smith, Travis Kelce. So many good names. And then George Pickens on the bench. I think he'll be better. So it seems like he should be good. Let's check out the schedule. I don't know. He's got Alex, me, Aiden, Connor. So me and Aiden are going to be tough for him. I think that's a tough matchup for Zach. Not to like toot my horn, but I think it's a tough matchup. And then he finishes the year really tough. Luke, Matthew, Aaron. Again, good thing is he's got 2 wins. So he'd need 5 from the last 8. Can he do it? Let's say he beats Alex. The most beatable teams right now, I think, for him are, and this is basically just based off where he is in the standings, I'm going to say are Alex, Tristan, and Connor. So he's got to come, he's basically, if we give him those 3 wins, he's got to come away with 2 upsets, quote unquote, over, me, Aiden, Luke, Matthew, or Aaron. Again, it's easy to look at the teams at the bottom of the standings and be like, oh, these guys have no shot. But again, a lot of fantasy left to be played. Aaron's had kind of a mid-season, not really exciting. He's got some dogs, like I said, but I just don't know why it hasn't come together for him. He's got a great projected total this week, so it'll be really interesting. And I mean, he's got some great players on his bench. Jordan Addison, Sam Laporta, Rashad White. It's way too early to call. I mean, maybe I should just have some stones and call someone a bad team, but I don't know. You can talk me into anything. Next up, we've got Matthew sitting at 5, 3-2. He's the, quote, worst of the 3-2 teams. In fact, fantasy projections only give him a 27% chance of making the playoffs, which is low. I mean, that's low. The Aaron and Zach even have higher than that. Heck, even Tristan at 9th has equal percentage. So I don't know why they're hating on him so much. I guess it's because he hasn't really been explosive. He's been consistent, not very explosive. And maybe it's quite simply just because he doesn't have a starting quarterback yet. And so whatever algorithm they use sees that and is like, oh, this guy doesn't start a quarterback. 27% chance. I'm not too sure. Again, I think Matthew will be fine. I mean, Matthew's always in the mix. Total defense is always tough, but again, he's got 3 wins on the season. It's not looking bad at all for him. And if we look at his upcoming games, he's got Aaron, which is actually a really good matchup. I like that matchup a lot. This will be really interesting. That'll be a good game. Then he's got Luke. Ooh, we got a little bit of kind of like a rivalry. Jeez, that's tough for me to say. Rivalry week going in week 7. He's got Tristan, Matt. I mean, Matt. I've been such a Matt hater, but if you're playing Matt late in the season, I feel like there's a better chance that you're going to win, which sounds bad. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think of his team. Then we got me at 4. I had some good weeks in there. I had 3 good weeks right in a row, and fantasy was loving me. They were giving me like 70% chance of making the playoffs after 4 weeks, which was like, it's a bit extreme. But I do have some good, some good positional rankings. I've got, number 2 quarterback, number 2 tight end. That's lucky though. I wouldn't count him as a number 2 tight end yet. I've got a lot of guys hanging around that 10 spot. Like I've got Thielen at 11 for wide receiver 11. I've got, Brian Robinson Jr. hanging out at running back 10. I've got Pacheco hanging out at running back 12. I've got Bijan Robinson running back 11. So a lot of people hanging around number 10. It'll be interesting to see how the season goes on. I mean, I like the look of my team. I think it's a good-looking team. It smells good. It feels good to me. So I'm hoping that they'll continue to perform. And yeah, I'm nervous. I'm nervous to play Aiden. Very nervous. I think I kind of get a lucky matchup here though, because for some reason he is really. Oh, it's because his running back, Khalil Herbert, is doubtful. All right, let's show the bench. I'm projected 107.5, or excuse me, I'm projected 105.8. He's projected 77.8. So I don't know what's up with that. I mean, it definitely comes from Khalil Herbert. Once he puts in Kenneth Walker, which I'm sure he'll do, he'll put Kenneth Walker in, and that'll bump him up to 91. And then if he puts in Keenan Allen over Zay Flowers, that'll bump him up. He'll be in the mid-90s still, which is weird because his team's very good. But I'm definitely nervous to face a team that's got Kenneth Walker, Keenan Allen, Jamar Chase, and CeeDee Lamb, and George Kittle. Like that team makes me nervous. And right now it's completely biased because he hasn't set his lineup. But I've how they do the comparison. I've got advantage in every position except for wide receiver 1, which he's got Jamar Chase over my AJ Brown, which is like totally fair. But season averages, I've kind of got his number right now. My team's doing my team starting lineup right now averages a combined 107.54 points. I'd love to be scoring that every week. So maybe I just keep this team in at all times. Feels pretty good to me. But yeah, no, I don't mind being at 4th right now. I think it's a comfortable spot. All right, we'll try to keep this rolling along here. At number 3, we've got winning program of all time, which in a segment later on in this podcast, you'll hear me. I'm a little bit skeptical of that. But yeah, Luke's team is very interesting because, like I said, that I've got a lot of guys hanging around the 10 position, whereas Luke's got a lot of guys that just are him. Like he's got Tyreek Hill at number 1. He's got Cowboys defense at number 1. He's got Hawkinson at number 6. He's got Brock Purdy at number 5. But then the rest of them, Josh Jacobs, 15, Jahmyr Gibbs, 39, Tyler Lockett, 48. Mike Evans at 14 is pretty good. I just don't know. I want to be a hater of Luke's team right now. Like he doesn't have dogs. He doesn't have names. I don't like the names on this team besides Tyreek Hill. But somehow, he's 3-2. He's got one of the highest points for in the league, so he can put together a squad, and we'll see if he does well. But I kind of want to be a Luke hater right now. Like looking at his team, I don't believe in them, and I'm sure I'll be wrong, but I just don't. I don't believe in him. I'm sorry, Luke. But anyways, the numbers show for him. All right, we got at number 2, Aiden, man. Aiden, unbelievable. He's had such a great season so far. He's done so well. I mean, I think it's, it's one, it's the players, but also two, he's been putting together great combinations of players. So in week 5, he scored 100 points. Week 4, it's not going to show me, is it? Week 4, he scored just under 100? No, let me just go to his schedule. Yeah, he scored 99.04. Week 3 had a 114. Week 2 had a 109. So he's done so well the past 4 weeks. He was unlucky to lose that Alex, although I do like that Alex finally got a first win. Because, I mean, you need to win. And he's got a relatively favorable schedule the rest of the way. He's got me, which, I think that's a great matchup. Again, another good matchup in week 6 is me versus Aiden. A couple very telltale matchups coming out here. He's got Connor, who's beatable for him. He's got Zach, who's beatable for him. I think he could beat Aaron's squad. I think he could beat Matt's squad. I think he could beat Luke's squad. I think Aiden's got a great chance. If someone's going to win out, like I said, if someone's going to win out, I think Aiden's got a great chance at it. I think it's going to be really tough. Again, it's not easy to win 8 of anything in a row. But if someone's going to do it, for me, he's kind of my favorite. I kind of like him. A couple other good matchups across this league. Oh, wow. Tristan's playing Connor. That's a great matchup. We got Luke again. Oh, every matchup is good. I'm loving all these. The only maybe bad one is Alex versus Zach, but the rest of them, this is a great week of fantasy football, man. I can't wait. This will be so much fun. Okay, cool. I'm excited. That just brought a smile to my face. And then at number 1, welcome back to the top, New South Charlie Town. He was here in 2019. It's been a long road back, but he's back up top, 4-1, and he's just hammered Aaron, 125.4 to 93.88. And I mean, thank God for Christian McCaffrey. What a player. DJ Moore too. I ragged on DJ Moore, I feel like, in the last podcast, but DJ Moore is now wide receiver 2 after having an insane, bad week 1 and then a brilliant fantasy season ever since. Week 2, he had 104 yards. Week 3, he had quiet 41 yards, but a touchdown. Big for fantasy. Week 4 against Denver, 131 yards and a touchdown. Week 5 against Washington. I mean, who's going to forget that? 230 yards and 3 touchdowns. Unbelievable, Jeff. So the Bears go on. Do they play any good defenses? They don't play. Minnesota's a goodish defense. Vegas looked really good against the Packers, and I guess Packers beat the Bears, so Vegas might shut down Justin Fields. I don't know. Chargers, not a great defense. New Orleans, not that great of a defense. Carolina's not that great of a defense. So DJ Moore might be a stud until week 11 when he goes to Detroit. And then it's going to be a bit of a tough slog. Week 11 through 14 might be tough for him. So, jeez. Yeah, Matt's actually looking decent. Matt is looking decent. The depth is a bit of an issue for me, but he's got a good-looking program. Again, this will be a fun week. Matt against Luke. See who comes out on top. So there you have it. That's kind of the recap of the league. I don't know if that was any good. I was going to say something, but I can't remember. Oh, yeah, we can take a look. I mean, Matt, oh my God, Matt is given an 80% chance of making the playoffs. 80%. And I think that has a little bit to do with how many wins he has. Because he's got 4 wins right now, which is a great place to be in. He basically only has to win 4 out of the last 8, which is doable. It's very doable. So yeah, this will be really exciting. And then yeah, we can go back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a special guest on the podcast this week. Roommate extraordinaire. He was brave. He stuck his hand in the garbage disposal for us all. And maybe solved it. Well, didn't solve the broken garbage disposal. Maybe solved the drainage problem. It's Ned Slavin. Welcome, Ned.
Good evening.
Anything else you want to say for the people as we start out here? It's the fantasy league, so we've got Matthew, Matt,
okay,
Aaron,
yeah,
Luke, Connor, Aiden, Tristan, myself, Zach, and Alex Kerstetter.
That's a good
Name
group of
dropped
guys.
And we actually just went on a trip together, didn't we?
We did go on a trip together. Well, yeah, most of that group.
Yeah, most of that.
But
most
saying that 10 group of guys, you'd be hard strung to find a better 10 group of guys than that group right there. That might be like top 10 guys that I've ever met.
Top
in my
10
life.
Boys.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's an honor. That's an honor to hold. It's no doubt. It's no doubt a great group of guys. Great group of people to travel with. I think it worked very well. So we all went to London, and then I went home early.
Boo.
I had to take care of my fantasy team. Couldn't just leave them out there by themselves. So I had to go home, and then the rest of the lads, which is everyone who was on that trip is in the league. I think, right? I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not in the league.
Okay. Oh shoot. Ned's not in the league, but he's in the devotees to the podcast will recall that Ned is in the Fantasy Premier League.
Yeah,
I mean he's been dominant in that before. Can you take us through
big
your history in the Fantasy Premier League?
Well, the first iteration of the league was just you, Gabe Raymond, and me.
Yeah,
and I believe you won that first one.
I think I did.
And then, was it just us three again the next year?
I think so.
And I think maybe I won that
I
one.
think so, too.
And then Aaron joined.
Yep. Did Gabe leave at that point? Or was he still
I
in
think
the league
Gabe was
at that
in
point?
for one more year on that.
Okay.
I don't recall who won that one. And then it kind of got big. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
It was a big group of guys. Tristan and Aaron and Matthew Roskowitz.
Yep, Connor. And then the max year, was it last year or was it the year before?
Yeah, but...
Last year we had like a bunch of people. We
did.
I mean, Alex joined up.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden's friend joined up.
Mm-hmm.
And we stuck it to that kid.
Yeah, whoever, if you're out there, you got bodied.
You got bodied,
absolutely bodied. But I also don't want to blitz past. Aaron Kaplan had a big win, a big season win, and he should have done the double, arguably. But then you kind of snuck in.
Again, devotees to the podcast will recall the moment that the double hopes were crushed.
The live reaction to winning the cup on the podcast. And then I had a really good performance last season. Off to a slow start this year, I won't lie. But
I'd say we all are. I mean, Matt's pulled away a little bit, but I don't think who's hit 100. Has anyone hit 100 yet, or even close?
I haven't. I think Matt's had in the 80s.
Oh, he has hit 80. Okay,
yeah, at least.
All right.
But yeah, I've got big things. I'm feeling fantastic about this weekend.
Oh,
I'm gonna put it out there.
Okay.
I mean, I gained like 20 plus points, close to 30 points on Matt this past weekend.
Yeah.
Hoping to do that again. This coming weekend.
We can't really talk about the squads because, I mean, that gives up a lot.
Yeah, showing your hand.
Yeah, you don't want to show your hand. You don't want to, reveal who you captained because then someone can just go out, free hit or wild card and build up that same squad that you did. So it is risky to talk about squad. You can only kind of give vague hints. And I mean, I guess we could analyze your last week's.
You could analyze my last week. I will say that I used 2 free transfers for this next week.
Oh, very good.
So,
very good.
I'm a big fan of...
How much money did you have in the bank? Did you have anything banked up?
I think I might have had maybe like some points left over.
Okay.
Like 0.5 or something like that. But I don't.
Oh, okay. So not that much.
Not a ton.
Yeah.
But I made some lateral moves.
Oh, very interesting.
Some forward moves.
This will be exciting then. I think the deadline is. I actually took it. I had it on my a calendar set up, like the Premier League Fantasy Premier League calendar on my phone. But then it was notifying me all the time, and I just ended up. I didn't decide to turn off the notifications. I just turned off the calendar. But I'd assume that the deadline is Friday, or excuse me, what is it? It's usually 2 hours before the first game of the week.
Yeah, it's usually
so it would have been
a couple
Saturday
hours
morning
before the first kickoff. Yeah.
So it'll be Saturday morning, and will be Friday 13th. Oh, Friday 13th is Friday. Do you have any like? Are you a big Friday the 13th guy? Like, do you like to
Like, am I
maybe,
superstitious
like,
about? I wouldn't say that I am by any means. No more than just like when it comes around, like a Friday the 13th. I'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
it's Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
It is kind of. I like that it's in October this year.
Yeah, it does.
It's
That.
kind of
Yeah,
a
spooky season.
Spooky bonus. But I mean, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I'll put it out there.
Yeah.
So, universe, get at me. Show me what you
Oh,
got on
shit.
Friday.
All right, maybe I don't want to drive this guy into Ann Arbor. I might die on my way home because the universe decided to go after him. But no, we'll have fun. We'll have a good time. And yeah, so we can transition into fantasy football a little bit here. You'll have to maybe update the viewers with your background in fantasy football, if there is a background, and maybe what if you know much about the NFL.
I don't have any background in fantasy football. My NFL knowledge is very low. I think I do well. I think to name 10 football players.
All right, let's do it. Let's name them. Names.
All right, Travis Kelce.
Okay, that's a great start.
Patrick Mahomes.
Boom. 2.
Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
See, now I'm under pressure. I'm really starting to blank.
Just breathe it out.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he's a player. He games.
Tua
games. You're halfway there. And you still got the whole Lions squad.
Yeah.
I feel like you know some Lions
Anzalone.
guys. Yep.
Hutchinson.
Yep.
Jared.
Yep.
Amon-Ra.
Yes. One more.
All right, I got a good one.
Okay.
I gotta get a good one.
Yeah.
Let's go with Kirk Cousins.
Bang. Great pick at number 10. I like that.
I think that's
we actually have a guy right here. I didn't even realize.
Josh Allen. Yeah,
we've got the magazine on our dinner table. Josh Allen. It's the Pro Forecast #1 nationally rated cheat sheet inside. Fantasy football 33rd year. Special 33rd anniversary. I didn't know that the 33rd anniversary was such a big deal. I mean 30, yeah, I've heard of that. 35, yeah, but if you asked me, I would not say that. I would not say that 33 is like a big milestone. I mean, it's good.
It's nice.
It's good to have
like
33 years of consistency.
It's like the same numbers.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. I do like that. So, anyways, where do we go from here? I don't know. We can take you around the league real quick. So these are the teams. This is New South Charlietown is Matt. Beeham Stinky Rat Jews is Aiden. That one's not aging well right now.
Yeah,
Prayers up for Israel. Winningest program of all time is Luke. I want to dispute that. I don't think he's the winningest program of all time. And he probably would be. He's got the best winning percentage. But Luke's only been in the league since 2017, I think. There were 2 years before he joined the league that myself and Matthew were able to get wins on. Because these are the vets right here. Matthew, me, Aiden, Matt, 4 of the original 6. You add in Alex, he's the 5th. Aaron was part of the original 6, but he's soon, in the first year he left, and Zach took his spot over. And then Aaron rejoined the league in, I want to say, 2018 or 2019. So he took a couple years hiatus. Aiden left the league in 2016 and joined back up in 2021. But those are kind of the traditional long-standing names.
Okay.
So anyways, then I'm 2B Robinson or not 2B because I've got 2 guys on my team named B Robinson. Matthew is sponsored by Golden Corral. Aaron is Uncle Ron is Guitarded. Zach is Bird Avenue Dairy Deluxe. Connor is New Cod Looks Good, which was his team name last year, but I don't like the carryover for that. For me, I'm not a big fan of that team name. Tristan is Amon Ra Dog in this league. I love that one. And then Alex is the Himsteaders, which I think that's a good name. I don't know. I don't know if you want to come
It's a play on his name.
Right.
Shout out Alex Kerstetter.
Shout out Stetter.
He used to live in my neighborhood.
Yeah, true. And now he's off finding his fortune, as they would say. Like Sophie Hatter in Howl's Moving Castle, which we also just went and saw last Tuesday.
Wasn't there. So that's
you weren't there?
No, I didn't go to that.
Oh, yeah.
Should I power rank them blind?
Yeah, power rank. Yeah. Sorry. Oh.
Well, I can see with like the position, but I mean just off like pure vibes.
Yeah, vibes.
I don't know, like names.
Yep.
Owners of the team.
Start us out.
And like how I like them. Maybe.
Yeah. Do you want to see? should I click on each team, or do you just want to go vibes? Vibes only.
No, I'll just go vibes only.
Okay.
Do you start at the top or bottom when you're doing power rankings?
Yeah, give me your number 10.
My number 10 first. I'll give you my number 10 first. Can you guess who it is?
Aiden. BM Sticky Ratchet.
No. Bird Avenue Dairy Deluxe.
Oh, yeah.
That guy. I mean, talk about ego. Ego versus ability. If you jumped from his ego to his actual ability, you'd die.
There's that big of a crevice between.
Yeah, the gap is fucking insane. And then number 9, I mean, and by the way, there's a big gap from 9 to 10. Almost as big as the gap from his ego to his performance. Let's see. It might be Ham Stinky Rat Juice.
Yeah.
But that's just, like world events or
around
playing into that. And then after that, we'll say
Can you read them all? Okay.
Yeah. I'll go winningest program of all time.
Okay.
In the 8.
Okay.
Just,
Maybe a little too much Hebrews in that name.
Yeah. And then number 7. Does everybody in this league listen to this podcast?
I don't know. I got a couple good listeners. Aaron's a pretty good listener. Matthew's a pretty good listener. Zach listens. I think maybe Connor listens. I don't know if Tristan listens often. Luke's a pretty good listener. He'll leave a comment. I don't know if he listens to them all, but he usually, when he does listen, I know because he'll leave a comment.
Okay.
So I don't think Aiden listens.
So not Alex?
I don't think Alex listens.
Okay, so we'll put Alex in the 7.
Okay, sounds good.
So I should.
That's all you were looking for.
I should have asked that before in my last ranking because now if I know that Luke's going to be listening, maybe you should have gotten up at least one. But I can't take it back. So
yeah, just stick with your guns. He'll respect it.
All right, and then number 6 we'll have. 6 will have to be, unfortunately, New COD looks good.
Yeah.
Like you said, I like the name, but then hearing that it's a double name, that's a little tough to swallow.
Yeah.
And then
because does the new COD this year even look good? Like I don't even know.
I haven't played new COD in a while.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know what the new COD is, if there is one. I mean, do they release new Call of Duties these days?
They are, but they're like kind of like you misspelled Call of Duty.
Yeah.
They kind of.
Oh, is it Modern Warfare?
Are like going back on themselves. Like the new one's called Modern Warfare 3. There
you go.
Was a Modern Warfare 3.
So we've got a bloke calling us right now. I'm just gonna tell him to get inside real quick. Hello? Hey, we're recording the podcast. Can you just come on in?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll see you in a minute. Alrighty. So we're gonna have another special guest join us, but we're gonna continue on with Ned's rankings here.
Okay, so what I'm at 5?
I think so. We already did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right? So we're at
picking
the
fifth.
4. Right?
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've picked 5. So you're at the
So there's 5 to go.
10,
There's
9,
10.
8, 7, 6. Yeah, you're in the 5th slot.
Okay.
The 5th slot.
I'll put I can't take you being next to me into too much consideration. I'm gonna put to be Robinson or not to be Robinson in the 5.
I'll take that.
And but I appreciate you having me on,
Oh.
but I can't let that influence my decision.
You know what? It's all right. No hard feelings. No hard feelings.
And then after that, we'll probably go with sponsored by Golden Corral.
Yep. Fact.
Just is that a new name or is that
No,
used?
that he used that last year.
Okay.
Won the championship with it though.
Okay, so that's I like that.
Yeah.
And it's a nod to your days in Seahome.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I'll go with Amon Raw Dog in this league.
Yeah.
That's just
Podium
great.
spot. That's number 3, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Which is, it's not only a pun, but a Detroit Lion player pun.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And then, now this is a tough choice.
Yeah.
Because you have New South Charlietown, which holds a special place in my heart.
Oh man, does it ever?
But Uncle Ron is Guitarded is so funny that I think it'll have to be Uncle Ron is Guitarded in the number 1, and New South Charlietown is in the number 2.
Amazing.
And let me tell you something: New South Charlietown is used to not being on top, so they fit in right where they belong.
That's too true. Yeah, at the number 2, coming in second. Alrighty, well, that brings us actually kind of close to. No, that's only 12. That's a 2, isn't it? No, that's 17. That brings us close to 20 minutes. I'd said I'd give Ned a quick 20-minute spot. He'll be on plenty more times throughout this season. We'll get a lot more great Ned takes and rankings and vibe checks throughout the season. So, again, thank you, Ned, for coming on the Justice League podcast.
It was an absolute pleasure.
We loved having you. Can't wait to have you again
Should I
soon.
name drop my favorite, my personal favorite person in the league?
Yeah.
All right, it's can you make like static and like it's breaking up.
It's going over my head a little bit. This is going over
Like
my head.
like I was about to say a
Yeah.
name and then it's like
Ah!
like a cliffhanger.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can do that. Okay. All right, ready?
Or you could just
Action.
leave. Or you could just leave all that in.
Yeah, I'll probably just leave all that.
All right, sounds good. You'll never know unless you do know.
Hey.
You know.
You
know
know.
who I'm
If you know,
talking
you
to.
All right. Kind of to wrap up the podcast today, we'll go back and we'll look at the final standings. Again, big shout out to Ned for coming on the podcast. Thank you, Ned. The projected standings, or the final standing projections, fantasy trends presented by Snickers is all over the place. Zach was projected number 1 after the draft. Guess where he's at number now? He's at number 6. Connor's projected number 2 after the draft. He's all the way down to 9. Luke is holding steady at 3. Alex at number 4 is all the way down to 10. And then Matt projected 5. Huge jump up, 4 places up to number 1. Aaron's from 6 up to 5. Aiden from 7 up to 4. Tristan's unfortunately kind of holding steady around 8. Fantasy still doesn't like him, which is, relatively fair based on what we've seen, but I think there's blue skies ahead. I've got a big jump right now. I was projected 9, now I'm projected number 2, which is crazy. And then Matthew was projected 10. They've bumped him up a fair amount, up to 7. I think that's good. No new message board messages or anything like that. But if we just want to go through maybe some waiver reports, like one of the best pickups so far has been, maybe best and worst pickups. It was the dropping of A-Chain. I think Aaron dropped A-Chain week. No, I might be lying on that one. Yeah, Aaron added A-Chain in week 2. Okay, Aaron drafted A-Chain, which was looking like a great draft. He dropped him after week 1, picked him back up. Okay, dropped him. Yeah, dropped him before he played week 1. Picked him back up on the waivers after week 1. Then dropped him again. Is that right before week 3? And then after week 3, Alex pounced on him because he had an insane week 3, 47 points at Denver. And he's done so well since. 24 points and 20 points. And then, boom, IR. Which totally stinks. Totally stinks. I think that's the biggest. I mean, the Kyron Williams pickup has been really working really well for Aaron. He's in running back number 5 right now. Puka Nacua was another good pickup. I think that's Zach. He's a number 5 wide receiver right now, so that was a great pickup. No one else really stands out for me. I guess I could say Jake Moody was a good pickup for me in a weird way. Like, he's ranked number 7 now. I don't think there's really no other transactions that's really stood out to me. Kind of try to keep it moving here. That's not showing, so we'll just skip that. I mean, I like my Adam Thielen pick. Tristan with CJ Stroud was a good pick. Doesn't want to show those for some reason. Yeah, I'm a little bit bummed about Dubes. I had him, then I dropped him, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it because he hasn't done crazy well since, but I picked him up after week 1 because he had, a great week 1. Kept him on the squad for a couple weeks and kind of let him go. Not a little bit bummed about that, but not crazy. Zach with another Rams pickup picked up Brett Mayer, kicker number 5 right now. Jameson Williams by Connor. That's looking like it could be a very good pickup. And yeah, I think that's it. A big waiver activity this week. 11 transactions. Second most so far. Week 1 had the most with 15 transactions, which is expected. Oh, the Jeff Wilson Jr. by Aaron could turn out to be very tasty. Interesting. Matthew went for Donta Foreman. I'm not a big believer in that. I mean, who did I get? I got Rashee Rice. Can't talk that much crap because who the heck is Rashee Rice? I just picked him up because they talked about him on part of my take. So I don't know anything. Who else? Tajay Spears. Matthew grabbed him. Aaron picked up Elijah Moore this week. Interesting. KJ Osborne was a good pick. I should have had that claim though. I for some reason had an unsuccessful claim on him. And I think it's because, yeah, there it was. Unsuccessful claim. Reason a player involved has already been dropped, which sucks. But again, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I kind of like the wide receivers on my team. So yeah, so we'll wrap it up there. We'll call that a podcast, and I hope you guys all have a great week. Good luck this week. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of great matchups. And see you in the flippity flop.